Welcome. This is in-depth review of the game called Those Who Rule. And on top of that, we're gonna have developer information and pro tips. Since I possess pretty much all the knowledge of the game, I 100% it is on the hardest difficulty. Permadeath. So, Those Who Rule is a tactics, turn-based tactics, with a little bit of RPG spice, if you will. I would just pretty much call it just like a kind of classic tactics game with a hex tiles. Mostly people are gonna jump and compare it to Fire Emblem or earlier Fire Emblem games due to how some of the system works, but it's not exactly Fire Emblem by any means, but clearly inspired, and the game is utilizing the classic systems, the formulas that works, and it makes the gameplay definitely fun. All right, so it's gonna be quick. In fact, I'm actually gonna be testing this new format of mine. So first of all, I'm doing these reviews in one-take recording, so no editing. Pretty much, I'm gonna be like live here, doing thing kind of like a presentation. I have, of course, some of my notes here, but hopefully I will remember to say everything I want to say. Anyway, so in the first couple of minutes, I'm actually intending you to show the infographic that's going to basically tell you all information you need, and then you could even close the video if you want to. But and yeah, this is spoiler-free infographic, so let's go. Also, the music is playing, it's not from this game, because this game got essentially audio library music, which means it's like public copyrighted and all that. So developer just purchased the license, and the content creators are gonna have issues, of course, with the content ID system. Alright, so as you can see, there is the picture. Let's go quickly run down these points, and each point is going to be in depth later with spoilers, of course. Right now it's spoiler free. Okay, so arts visuals. So I put here mixed. Let me explain why. So this situation is quite interesting because well, let me begin with this first. The reason there is no Let's Play and entire playthrough of this game on YouTube is because, first of all, I was not even aware how quality this game is going to be, how, like, is it going to be worth it, or maybe... I was just cynical and skeptical about the game, right? As I usually do. And when the first stream and, like, first, well, 4 hours, I was just exploring everything, and there was a bit of a problem with AI-generated content. So the developer disclaimed on Steam themselves that they're saying that the backgrounds are AI-generated, the CGs, you know, in the cutscenes. And basically most background art is AI-generated, it's confirmed. Also, developer contacted me, and we were talking on streams and in private. That's definitely confirmed, and you can tell that anyway by looking at these images. And also the various like UI icons and all that is also AI generated, which is, you know, definitely some people are instantly gonna say no thanks to this game. I mean, totally fair, but you know, so you gotta... I'm quickly gonna jump into this whole AI argument thing, or AI generated content. Like, in the near future, it's gonna be really hard to even, like, you know, proof or otherwise. People are already using in the smaller studios, bigger studios, like the AI generated code, assisted code. They're writing it inside, and how we're gonna prove that it's like AI code right in the game unless it's open source? Of course, you can, when it comes to art, you can like trace AI generated or like redraw it, or like essentially just basically get like as a well, the artists do this as they pick the pictures as references and material, and they draw hopefully by themselves, or in worst case scenarios it's tracing. But yeah, you get the idea. So the art, all sorts of like the textures, 3D, 2D sprites, all sorts of elements in a game could be assisted in some ways, and yeah. Well, like it or not, there will be people and developers and companies who will be not disclosing, obviously, a lot of these things, and they're going to be sneakily trying to squeeze it. Like, for example, they will disclose only, like, UI elements or something like, you know, like, for example, this game disclosed icons. But if there's already AI-generated something, that could be even more AI-generated, right? So it's fair to be cautious and accuse you of some things, right? So here comes the thing where the character art. So the game is full of the amazing character art, and there's so many named characters. But good news is that it's all done by the very talented artist, who is, as you can see, there's a picture from their DeviantArt account. They're really like fan of the Dragon Ball Z, as you can see. Like most of their art is just some super muscular, like veiny characters and what's not. And they've been doing art for many years, way before AI Gen's era, and like now, and it's incredible. Yeah, like once I discovered them, yeah, super awesome quality, and you can see it in the game. Also, I'm gonna show you, of course, once we're gonna go deeper into the like more spoiler area. Yeah, and in fact, this game name, yeah, Those Who Rule. I guess you could say that, you know, one moment, I'll remove this picture. You can say that those who swole, or, you know, those who lift, because pretty much every character is gonna be in the art style of this artist that I just showed, and yeah, it's awesome. All right, so again, so that's why I displayed this as a mixed, you know, art visuals. The levels themselves, the pixel, I mean, not pixel. The game also utilizes the purchased low polygon packs, texture packs from like some Unity, you know, thing, and they're really not impressive looking. And I will like the. It's not really the focus of what makes this game good for sure, but nonetheless, I just wanted to mention that. All right, let's go to quickly next category. Well, it wasn't so quick actually, because like I started talking about AI generated stuff. All right, music, sound effects. So I already mentioned that this the music is unfortunately not original. It's just purchased licensed audio library. But what I'm gonna say is it's the reason it's not red colored is because it's actually, you know, very nice, fits. So the style of the music is like folklore, you know, like kind of think of the Witcher series, right? These, you know, like the game is set in this, you know, medieval era where, you know, kingdoms and, you know, you've got the melee weapons. You don't have the powder technology or anything like that. So just the weapons, bows, and what's not. So there's no magic in this game, by the way, but we're gonna talk about that later. So yeah, mostly you're just gonna be around this theme of the music. So mostly in the game there are gonna be two areas to where you're gonna be having action in Greenland, kind of, and the desert areas. So there's obviously gonna be desert style Arabian and Egyptian tracks also. But yeah, it's all audio library, so you know. It is what it is. Also, I forgot to mention that this is one-man project. This is an incredible, you know, product, and I should probably mention this too here right away. So you see this picture right now. You see another one, and it shows. So this game was released like 2 months ago, and I played it well right now. So it got a lot of positive reviews. In fact, one thing surprised me, it got currently 100 concurrent players on Steam for the single player tactics, turn-based tactics with the RPG slice. Like, that is actually successful. And again, it's just a one-person game. There's no publisher, there's no PR pretty much outside of our community. I would say turn-based Thursday hashtag, if you know that thing from Twitter. or the, you know, if you're in turn-based communities, you're probably aware of what I'm talking about. But yeah, fantastic performance nonetheless. Just wanted to mention this. So, the sound effects are obviously also probably taking some, or audio library, you know, I cannot really comment about it much, but it fits, you know, no complaints. There's some battle music. So one thing I'm gonna mention is that there was one battle track that was really annoying though to listen, especially like some chapters that you're playing in the game, the battles, yeah, they last like maybe 30 minutes to 1 hour of gameplay, and you have to listen to that very repeatable drum, like desert drum kind of track. It just, man, my stream viewers and myself were, I actually had to like at some point decrease audio of the music or even completely disable it because they're just too obnoxious, and unfortunately that track is also repeats in other places too. But yeah, that was just a minor complaint about that. All right, let's go to story. So story quickly, again, no spoilers. It's in a green, as you can see, well written, and this is basically, for me personally, one of the best selling points of the game. So what happened here is I mean, I could show you this screen here. So I completed the game, and instead of the credits, you get this thank you page here, which is kind of awkward. But yeah, hey, expecting a credit roll. You can read this and pause the video and can read it. But basically, funny enough, like I needed to learn all this information: where developer got the assets, and if it's AI generated or not, and stuff like that, right? By the way, there's no mention of AI generated here, but it's on Steam page. So yeah, this is where you can also learn about who is credited for the work, right? And including the main story dialogue writing. There's a commissioned person here too. So the commissioned artist, commissioned writer, and and of course the purchased licenses and what's not. And yeah, oh yeah, by the way, oh no, I cannot. Developers, why you're automatically, let me close this window. Why is it closing the game? Okay, whatever. Also, just a minor complaint about this credit screen. As a person who wanted to know the not information, I mean, it's pretty common sense to have a game with the credits. Like, I know some people are trying to conceal credits once you beat them all, but I want to, especially if it's like a small indie project or small team, like I would like to see credits, especially. And there's no credits button effectively. You only get that screen once you officially beat the entire game, which is, you know, takes a lot of time. And also, yeah, the game is loading here in the background. I'm trying to load it back. All right, well, here we go. All right. So yeah, story. Story was definitely. I mean, again, I'm not gonna the spoiler-free section right now. So the characters feel like characters. They feel, you know, alive. There's a lot of cool side conversations. There's a lot of main conversations. There's returning characters constantly talking in the main story. You know, there's obviously itself the main plot of the game is gonna be interesting to discuss here once we're gonna go deeper into that. But yeah, it like, considering I played so many quote-unquote slop games, especially in the tactics genre, this one definitely pleased me with that aspect of the story. All right, let's go to the next category here, gameplay combat. I decided to separate gameplay and non-combat because it's basically like, you know, management phases, or like preparation or inventory management, itemization phase and what's not. But yeah, the combat itself is obviously in the green, fun, but stay tuned for you know, in-depth analysis of that. Level design mixed. Again, without spoilers, I can say much is that there was definitely good levels, and closer to the end of the game, all of them were kind of disappointing, and that's why my last point is late game engaging. It's in a red even, but it's not only because of that. I will explain it later there. And I will show you the levels and what's not. It's right now I'm just quickly trying to get through points, right? Well, it would be nicer if I would not talk about AI generation, I guess, at the start and like a music situation. But yeah, like I'm doing my best here, you know, one take review. So difficulty. No, sorry, I skipped. Gameplay non-combat mixed. So the reason I say mixed is because there is some good design ideas in non-combat, but they kind of work. But at the same time, there's a lot of like, you know, to be desired things, and it's just not, you know, it's like okay, and without spoilers I cannot really talk much right now. So difficulty lacking. I completed again, I mentioned it at the start of the video hopefully, but I completed the game on the hardest difficulty, 100%. Every mission, side objective, every mission, all objectives completed, and permadeath, obviously, which is the most important part also. The difficulty is lacking due to the how AI, well, the not the AI generated stuff, but actually, you know, AI units controlled, yeah, how it works, and well, due to the well, the combat gameplay mechanics effectively. But it's not super, you know, bad thing. If anything, of course, everybody's gonna enjoy it. There's no like some hardcore masochist stuff. Yeah, that's why I didn't give it the red color, yeah, because I know I'm like a hardcoreness. I love difficulty, I love that, everything. But to be fair, even casuals are gonna probably complain that this game is a bit too easy. Like, and I mean, Steam reviews also mention it. So yeah. Depth and complexity. Okay, so this is like a kind of like a category where it's neighborhood with a level design and other things. The gameplay, non-combat related things. So again, yeah, I just quickly mentioned it's good. There's good things and bad things, and the most importantly, yeah, the mechanics in the game are quite basic. Again, not a bad thing, could be good thing, but for some people could be bad thing. And yeah, the game length, 10 to 15 hours in my opinion. I completed, obviously it's for much longer because I was streaming it, and I'm slower, and since I'm doing everything and I'm, you know, explaining things to my viewers there. So yeah, based on the information from the reviews on Steam and my personal calculations, yeah, probably would be that would be appropriate time for the game. Like on, you know, without permadeath, and if you're skipping story, it's gonna be definitely quicker, honestly. So performance bugs, this is what I was pleased on, by the way, especially considering it's a one-man project, right? A lot of games these days, it doesn't matter if it's AAA, AA, or indies, underground gems. Usually when it's fresh release, it's gonna be filled with QA issues and bugs, and just horrible things could happen. Soft locks, hard locks, safe corruptions, like could be horrible situations, especially for, you know, tactics game that could be potentially catastrophic in gameplay. You know, if imagine the script is not working and you're just not able to progress through these chapters and what's not. So yeah. Definitely green color here, and there was some, I mean, I'm probably not even gonna mention it in review here, but some of the things I even mentioned, and so some issues with the game, I already talked to the developer and submitted the feedback and bug reports, and they already improved the game, by the way, after my walkthrough. For example, the skill tooltips of non-combat abilities are going to be displaying charge amounts now, so very useful quality of life. And honestly, it was just a really bad thing that it was not displayed, because that's really important in the context of game, you know, when you're trying to promote your characters, special classes, and the tooltips of the skills are lying about a very, very important part of them and charges. Anyway, so and the final here point is late game engaging. Mentioned that before already. For me, again, some of these things are in this list is subjective, some objective, but it is what it is, you know, like it's my personal review. So late game was not engaging, and I cannot really talk about it without spoilers, so yeah. Whew, wait, 20 minutes, man, and I just finished this total verdict kind of thing. Yeah, okay, well, man, and I have to go to the other categories. There's gonna be pro tips, man. But okay, let's go. I mean, it's okay. I mean, I gotta go into depth after all. I spend so much time into this game. If there's no let's play and walkthrough in it on YouTube, at least you guys are gonna get this review where I'm gonna talk about everything. All right, so. You know, stick around if you like to know more about the game and like to see it in action and see it in what is the, you know, arts, the music. Well, I'm not gonna be able to play the music, but I will show you as much as I can. But yeah, also, man, my playlist that I prepared for this video is gonna probably loop because too much time after all is gonna be used. Also, random thing, if you guys can recognize all the music tracks that are playing in the background, and you can post it in comments, that would be like, I mean, I would forever love you. You know, you're like master of video games effectively. But yeah, try to catch all the music that I'm playing, though it's gonna most likely loop very soon, honestly. All right, so awesome, we finished with this yeah, well, I said total verdict. Yes, yeah, of course, I recommend this game. I enjoyed it. There's a lot of things to definitely be appreciative and you know, give respect to the developer. It's a one-man project effectively with some commissioners, yeah, and again, no technical issues, bugs, and pretty much on all that. Very nice. The main factor is all in the green, right? Fun gameplay, combat, tactics games, that's what you want, and of course well-written story. It's not boring and all that, and soulless. So again, whatever you're gonna hear later as in this video, as I'm gonna be definitely more critical and exposing some weaknesses of the game, nonetheless, I think you're gonna enjoy it for what it is. And yeah, if you don't want to watch in depth later on, then thank you for watching to this point. But yeah, there's gonna be timestamps and what's not. Yeah, so let's go to the now in-depth analysis of all these points. So what I've got here, so art and visuals, right? Well, I already explained the situation with it, but let me just well, show you how the levels are in the game. So of course now we're in the spoiler zone, so like
escaping Crawford's dungeon, but Duke Crawford.
You've been warned. So yeah, there's the AI generated stuff, these are CGs in the background, but yeah, I want to show you just like levels, how they look. Now skipping, I mean, you see everything is not edited, like, so I have to do it. All right, so well, this is just an example of, I mean, it's a game done in Unity, is quite obvious, and yeah, confirmed that the developer purchased asset pack and low polygon one. The worst thing about that visual is that the character promotion screen, because they zoomed out onto these low polygon models, like and it looks really bad. Like, even developer regrets, by the way, doing this. So when they said it on stream, yeah, and yeah, I definitely agree to it, because I mean, from the distance it's like okay. I mean, serve it, like everything is serviceable here, you know. It looks bad. I mean, water looks like really bad. I think in one of the maps I'm gonna show you, like the gonna have the water, but yeah. Yeah, I think I know which chapter. Good thing that there's a save slot, so I could actually have a different save files to show you, otherwise that would be quite a wait, not new game. No, not new game. Start chapter. I think in chapter 15 there was things. Also, yeah, the voice acting only happens when narrator talks. It's only very important story bits. So here, let me show you another map. There we go. It's a bridge here in the building. So there's the water. Yeah, it looks it looks horrible, obviously, but I mean, it is what it is. Again, as you can see, the level of design here is serviceable, everything, and you know, most importantly, you can recognize pretty much units. You buy the shields, like bow, weapons, all this stuff. You know, there's plenty quality of life features in the game itself, so I'm gonna cover that later. But like, you know, nothing too negative, right? So as you can see. So once again, AI related, AI generated is only CGs, background images, yeah, for conversations and like maps that you have, and like the icons and what's not, yeah, for UI elements. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else to add to the arts visuals. The music and sound effect category, yeah, well, again, I cannot really do music here, so the sound effects are fine. Some of them could be annoying, yeah, but it is what it is. Again, that's why I marked it as yellow. Just okay, like again, serviceable. All right, okay. The next point is the story. Oh boy. Okay, so story is pretty deep topic. I mean, but I will try to be still nonetheless brief. So what I want to mention is the, well, like I don't just tell obviously, like the I could have wrote in my notes like telling you this short description of the story, but well, basically there's the game consists of 4 kingdoms, these sectors there, and actually I can show you so that you guys see visual. I don't have a picture for it here, but I have a chapter where the story and narration happens, so you can see a little bit of that. Just a briefly gonna. So
escaping Crawford's dungeon.
Ignore the
Rangers
right now.
Through
so yeah, there's 4 big sectors and one big in the middle.
The rendezvous, where the
entire game is touching the story of the conflicts between Fern and Iroquois. Valjord and Alipo they just exist for the sake of existing, pretty much, for the lore build up of some characters and some backgrounds, right? Or maybe, you know, potentially some sequel, and who knows, yeah. But basically, yeah, I kind of understand why a developer did that. I even asked them in private why the storyline was written in the way that basically the other parts. So it's not like a Unicorn Overlord where every single part of the world is utilized, right? Or any other, well, famous and well-established successful tactics games, yeah. Oh yeah, I probably should mention earlier in my review about like what people compare this game to, but yeah, well, whatever. Like, I mean, in terms of difficulty, the game is not an Urtuk, this game is not Battle Brothers of other mods, this is not Unicorn Overlord with complexity, this is not Fire Emblem with complexity, this is not like a dating thing, this is not, well, this game is just a very well-made basic tactics game, yeah, with a good story built in again. So there we go. So back to story. So yeah, you get a cool conflict issue. So you get into conspiracy inside of Fern. There's some, you know, there's a monarchy in these sectors, and you know, kings, princes, and you got the dukes, the consuls, you got the, you know, some military, you got this other military corporations there, not corporations, but the how to say it, it's like the factions, yeah, well, not faction, but whatever. Yeah, your main the cool thing about the story in this game is that you don't have a one main character. In fact, I when I was playing the game, actually, and prologue, there's a prologue and then the game itself, I actually was confused who the heck is even main character in the game for a lot of time. Only then I realized, oh, it's got to be those 3 characters in the front of the cover art and where they're featured, right? And okay, well, that makes sense. Also, there's a loose condition about them in the mission, so I guess that's fits, right? But yeah, it's funny. You might consider them not even that much of a main characters, especially some of them are just kind of, you know, the not so great character in a battle. But we'll talk about that in a combat segment of the review. So yeah, I got effectively, you will quickly start getting a lot of characters. In fact, this game just, when recruitable characters are going to be so fast and there's so many of them, I think you can count like 30 characters, named 30 characters. It is so many, well, not 30, but maybe a little bit less. There's so many characters that are gonna join you across the game. And also you deploy a lot of units per mission. You can deploy up to 14 units in this game once you get enough units. Like, oh my god, that is so much to control. And since the game is divided by turns, so it's not initiative, there's no initiative system, so everybody just like player turn, enemy turn, player turn, so you can get like a huge ball of units and alpha striking things. But it's we're gonna talk about it like in kind of like a gameplay segment and balance things, whatever. So yeah, you got a lot of characters. There's a lot of optional conversations. Let me actually show you.
Duke Crawford.
So you when you load this phase, it's like a post mission, yeah. So management's time for your upgrades and the characters. So you got these conversations with the characters. Oh, you can see different art. Yeah, I could show you different character art here. Like, I could load all of my save files and show you pretty much all characters. We're in the spoiler zone again. No, you guys are ready for spoilers. But yeah, there's a lot of characters. They're all unique and they have all different. Special unique passive and their unique growth rates and whatnot. So they definitely, and this doesn't matter, it's a gameplay thing. And story-wise, most of them definitely are kind of like fun to learn about. There's optional, again, it's conversations each mission that happen. Yeah, some funny stuff happens, some serious stuff happens, some feelings, touchy subjects happen. So the game is, you know, not afraid to bring. You know, the game is also trying to teach you adult lessons in a game, like, which is nice. Some like actual relevant to our society lessons. And at the end of the day, here in the context of the story, there's going to be quite a hard morale choices. You know, morality, what you stand for, what do you fight for, what you like protecting. Who are you? What are you doing? And like, there's gonna be quite a few cool twists in the story, but at the end of it, this is where things are gonna get like. Once you get to the final 25% of the game, you're gonna start wondering, as a person who you're playing, right? Again, I'm not gonna give you all the context of the story. You're gonna find it yourself, but basically, it's kind of. It was really weird for me to experience this because I was like, dude, you're just being played as a, you know, pawn. You're just a fool. Like, everybody's a fool here. Like, oh my god. And the final, super final, like a finale choice that you have to do, you have to choose the side there at the end of the game, by the way. Yeah, that thing was... I wish developer, you're probably gonna listen to this video, but I hope that I was hoping that there would be third option or even fourth option there to choose from. I felt bad choosing both options because they're not really ideal or good. I would even argue that both of those options were bad. Like, so it's like you're choosing lesser evil, if you will, as your final choice. And yeah, there's no like kind of like good ending, if you will, even though it's supposed to later happen. But who knows? I mean, the other countries might attack and like other things gonna happen there. So yeah, the final thing was quite wild. So it really it made me feel bad. And I wish personally there was a third option to kill everyone, for example, like just because, oof, once you're gonna get into the end of the story, you probably will understand what I'm talking about. Also, if you guys already played the game and you have opinion about the story, write in the comment actually what do you feel about the story, like in regards of well, how you were, I guess, played and manipulated, and of course the final confrontation there at the end of the game. I want to hear your opinions about it. All right, that's probably all I wanted to say about the story. Let's go to the combat, a gameplay, the fun part of the game. Yeah. So I need to jump into the combat. So you got objectives, formation management, you know, classic stuff. Now, how many characters you can deploy. So I need to explain some basics about how the combat works. So first of all, this is not like some flashy Fire Emblem game where there's like the animations on every combat when you start engaging combat. No, this is just you know, you get close to somebody, you attack them, and you know, compare stats, and boom, 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 bim, bam. There's preview. So each character got the stats and the growth rates, which is a very important thing. I definitely remember that. Also, I forgot to mention it, but there's a fixed growth rates and random growth rates. What it means is that with fixed growth rates, you're gonna get guarantee some stats each few levels, yeah. And with random, you will get what you have at the percent roll. So effectively, this is fun, but it could be also really tilting and bad because even like, let's say, vitality is a very important stat for characters. Obviously, I mean, it's like a mid game, and you can see the HP is not even that high. But theoretically, if you play it on my difficulty, like the permadeath and the random stat growth, you can actually get like 5 levels in a row and get 0 vitality. And well, and that's not even that. There's some stats that are way more important, and you're gonna feel horrible. So quickly, vitality is just the HP. Strength determines the damage and attack stats. Obviously, skill is chance of hit, so it's accuracy. Agility is a speed and dodge. So this is 12 agility, 12 speed. Speed is determining the doubles or not, so it's kind of like a Fire Emblem system, yeah. Doubles. Endurance is a carry weight of the unit. Defense is just a DR. So the game is really using simple math here, again, for better or worse. And again, because of that, the atomization is going to be also quite not as in-depth. But again, it's maybe a good thing too, and I felt like when I was playing the game personally, it was definitely a good thing. All right, so these stats, and of course you have attack, hit, what is that, build, it's how much you can movement. So there's no initiative, as you can see, but there's a speed. So again, with double stuff. Classes, the block amount for and each character can wear 3 weapons, 1 shield, and 2 items, so artifacts, if you will. You got in this game default class with the unique passive for each character, and then you got 2 promotions that happen at level 10 and 20, which is definitely exciting because not only you get perks and passives, you also get a lot of stats ups as a bonus, and also new potential weapons, the class, the efficiency class, or not class, but like tier. So yeah, the tiers are for the most part just exist here. So it's a limitation of what you can wear effectively. Yeah, you need proficiency to wear some stuff, and on top of that, you need class to have that weapon. Yeah. With this class weapon system, there's definitely, I mean, the ladder ranking system. There's definitely one issue, and I will talk about it probably later. Again, as I'm gonna go to the pro tips phase of the video. Oh yeah, by the way, I've my my music stopped playing here. I mean, I might as well put XCOM here and Geoscape in the background. Yeah, this video is definitely gonna be much longer than I anticipated, but it is what it is, right? So so you got these stats, then you clash with enemies. Got various bonuses from different weapons. So for example, this character gets 100% hit, and I'm gonna get in retaliation 89% chance to hit. Also, if you highlight, the tooltip explains all the bonuses and the penalties, so pretty cool. Developer thought of that. The game itself almost got perfect. Like, there's no, I wouldn't say it's a perfect information game, but there's enough tooltips information and what's not to be satisfied. So no issues with that. Again, I mentioned it earlier in the point, but there's like no skill perk issues, synergy issues, like bugs, some things. Then so it's a very nice experience here of the game. So each unit got a zone of control. So this game features zone of control, by the way, which is nice. Okay, so you got doubling system, zone of controls, in simple math systems with its own flaws, of course. Because let me tell you immediately why this system have some issues. There's a defense stat, which is DR, and, well, you probably already guessed it, but some stats are just higher value than others. And because of the random stat growth that you can a little bit manipulate, but we'll talk about it in a segment of combat. Because you got these growth rates, each character is gonna... So how developer decided to create each character, they're gonna basically, you know, get their growth rates in that regard, yeah? So you gotta be at mercy of the balance for the developer, how they created the character. Each character, you know, I can scroll here. Each character got its own percents, and it will definitely feel horrible for some characters. Some characters are just bad or immediately bad because of how they're constructed, due to the game mechanics and comparing stats. But yeah, so from my experience, I can tell you, of course, all the important information, such as, you know, defense is like really, really good because it's DR. There's no magic in this game. There's only ranged bows, and all the stuff is melee. So defense is a king. You can... There's going to be character later in the story, not on this mission, but it's so tanky that nobody can even damage him. With the exception of one thing. It's that ridiculous. Like, one of the god tier characters, I would say. And I'm gonna, by the way, mention this term in god tier character. It's what I mean is that I created a beast, a really powerful character through the mechanics of the game, and effectively created a really effective build. But I will probably talk about it more in the pro tips category of the game, of the video, as I'm gonna be showing you, yeah, indeed, these tips there. So yeah, the speed is obviously very important because you don't get doubled. Later down the line in the game, you'll get like 2-shotted easily, 3-shotted, so it's a really good, especially with low HP, unlucky HP. The strength is obviously very important for the pure damage, because like, man, on the last stream of the game on a thin line, it didn't really matter because I was completely, you know, broken and was not, but I was so powerful with the specific character who is assassin class, and he obviously needs like damage from strength as to do more damage. He also does triple attack, just for the context. So each point of strength gives the 3 damage, right? So it's so much better than 1. And he's, in fact, I will even show you the character. He should be here, obviously, Rayson, right? So he's at 60% strength growth. I leveled him 7 times in a span of a few chapters, and he got 0 strength. Not that it mattered, but it was really tilting. Imagine, like, I was still killing enemies, but he could have done so much more damage though if like, proper, like, and yes, if I would play it with fixed growth rates, I would probably get like guaranteed 2 strength or 3, who knows. But it just, yeah, you can get seriously screwed by the RNG of that. But it is what it is. It's, you know, how the Fire Emblem games also, people like to safe scam their precious level ups, right? And if there's a system of growth rates. So yeah, be cautious about that. And of course, also be cautious of a permadeath game mode. But on that, I probably will talk later in the difficulty segment or whatever. But yeah, permadeath should be avoided because it's going to be frustrating for most players probably, because effectively how the game works is that, well, if you put in the front line questionable character who is most likely going to get hit a lot on, so there's not that many heals in a game, right? There's only a few healers you can do per turn. If you're gonna, like, let's imagine you have all these like 14 characters, and let's say 7 of them take damage, and you can only heal 2 characters with 2 healers that you have, but other 5 characters got to be damaged, and they're going to be in incredible danger, especially if they're in the zone of attack for the, you know, in enemy zone of attack. So again, you're gonna disincentivize to really, since everybody's a melee pretty much in this game outside of exceptions of ranged bows, you're going to be putting everyone in danger of melee, and you got to be thinking twice before putting a not ideally built character to the front line, especially who can get doubled, or they're wounded, and just in general, you want to bait in this game with the proper tanks or proper quote-unquote god characters who can bypass pretty much the game mechanics by being so OP that they will be like, well, there's the god character I have in my possession right now. So as you can see, she one-shots an enemy immediately, and there's like 0 chance to hit me pretty much. So, well, some enemies obviously have better stats, but it's also like early game, mid game kind of like mission. So, in later on, this character gets completely busted. So, but yeah, you get the idea. So you can get to the point where if you funnel the experience and what's not into several characters instead of all of them, you can create a god character. Especially with the itemization builds that the game offers you, you can definitely achieve that. So yeah, and speaking of experience, right? So just like in Fire Emblem, you can expect like each attack. Let's do the attack here. Bam, bim, bom. Miss, nice. So I finished the battle. There's gonna be a little bit experience and level up. If I finish and blow the enemy, will steal experience. So for example, this character Elias is gonna steal the kill, and he's gonna get more experience. If the characters are underleveled, they're gonna get more experience. If they're overleveled, they're gonna get very little experience, but they'll still get experience. And on top of that, I'm gonna just say this much: there is no level cap in the game. I was surprised to see that, and but again, it didn't matter at the end because even my most busted characters couldn't really grow that fast, and again, it was already super overkill. Yeah. But yeah, there's no level cap for some reason, even though it's kind of obvious that maybe level 30 by the end of the story is going to be reached on enemies and stuff like that. But yeah, so during the missions you also get side objectives. Sometimes there's a scripts. In this mission there will be like scripts, but it doesn't matter. So usually on the map there's a treasure chest. A lot of missions are going to have timers, you know, because of course tactics game without timer in the story missions, we cannot have that. The game doesn't have any side missions, so there's no map management. There's no like some kind of travel thing or whatever. There's just straight up chapters back to back, like story. You only get the side conversations and the missions through what you get here. So the maps are quite large because of that, and they're exciting to play on. And yeah, there's the loot icon, for example, on this character. You can get longbow from him if you kill him. Definitely, of course, recommend getting all the loot if possible, especially on missions without timers, so you can chill. And right, yeah, that's how the game is combat. It's just for fun, you know, zone of controls, you know, play around, you know, you attack on your turn, you click Alt or click on enemy units to expect where they are. You know, do the thing, do the multiple classes synergies, you know, play the game, kind of, you know, RPG style, if you will. It's fun. But yeah, again, I don't go too much in depth into it, but you get the idea what the combat is now, right? So, the next category... level design. Alright, so again, we got spoilers. So, level design, since the start of the game... Some of the maps are like, well, they look, you know, not that much effort put into them for sure, but for the most part, up to 75% of the first half of the game is like there's a lot of cool variety of missions. The next 25% of the game is really stretching the creativity and pushing the limits of the difficulty of some levels. And to my sadness, the final 5 missions, the 5 chapters of the game from chapter 16 to 20, they were so, I don't know what happened to them, but they're either rushed, the developer didn't even care pretty much at all anymore there. So let me explain what happened there. So each character, like special character, named character, got a unique passives, right? Which is a playable character also. And each boss in a game also got its own, like, you know, special passive. And the elites and just a bunch of creativity, a bunch of loot also on each scenario and objectives. So what happened in chapter 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20? Well, no secondary objectives. no pretty much timer even. Also, just kill everything on the map. That's it. It's a really basic, boring objective, but it's not even about objective. It's about the content of missions. There's no more special enemies. There's no loot whatsoever. No loot whatsoever. Not a single chest. So there's no motivation to even like try to explore, like do something extra. It's no loot whatsoever, and this is gonna be a problem for the itemization and off combat or segments, right? And there's no loot on enemies either. So it's just a copy-pasted high level 35 enemies, like endgame double promoted enemies with like they got nothing special. They're just a random soldier that needs to be killed, and that's it. It's just, it feels so weird because before, like, it doesn't matter, the game is going to be over soon. Just give me some legendaries, give me SS rank weapons and items. And by the way, to my also surprise and disappointment, there was not a single SS rank item. In fact, there was almost no S rank weapons in a game either. And when I'm gonna talk about itemization, there's gonna be a huge segment of the items too, but right now I'm just gonna briefly mention it. Yeah. So yeah, that was just so sad to like see the great game and experiences like of these level design and everything, and then just like, well, game is rushed effectively. Yeah, there's no way around it. And I think developer will agree, and they know about them themselves that they're those final 5 chapters, they kind of feel soulless. And I kid you not, the final battle mission where there's a super final bosses, the super final bosses enemies doesn't have a unique passives. They don't have any unique loot. They got the same default trash shop items that everybody else's has. That's the final battle in the game there. Yeah, it just, there's no identity of those final missions at all, and the 5 chapters. It's not even that hard to make. I mean, you don't have to balance it for a player. You're not gonna play as a villain anyway, right? So, well, actually, you do there, but it's just for that one final battle, yeah. And you can side with one of the villains, basically. But besides the point, like, you can give them, you can design specific special items for them only, like some, you know, royal like amulet or whatever, ring of power, like super auras, like some cool creative effects. Yeah, like there's nothing. It just was just a, it kind of like a normal human massacre final battle there, and just like any other. Anyway, that felt weird. Yeah, basically, you got all this systems itemization and everything else, and then you got nothing on those 5 chapters. All right. So that's design of the. That's why I didn't give it the green like, you know, the color in my picture, because yeah, I was kind of disappointed by that fact. Like, also, just so for the context, developer is still patching the game, and something kind of like personally I'm scared of, but he's trying to add also not only quality of life, but he's also trying to add new content into the story. It's a story-based game with the chapters, and he intends to add like actually few items in a game that might fix the problem that I just mentioned. Like, for example, he's intended to add like a harpoon special ranged item, yeah, and I don't know what the rank is going to be as, but I have a feeling it's not going to be SS or S again, but yeah. But items are going to be fun to discuss, because yeah, it's a big segment too. And speaking of that segment, I think it's time we're going to go jump into gameplay and non-combat. And let's dive into that, shall we? I will probably load the save file from like end part of the game. Counter plea here. All right, so you got your manage. You can check your characters, you can check your gear, inventory, forge, crafting place, and I need to probably quickly explain what the forge is. Forge is where you can upgrade your weapons if they got sockets, and you can spend money to to upgrade 3 extra damage stats and 3 extra, 15, 5, each upgrade is 5 accuracy, so yeah. But it's pricey, and we're gonna talk about the money a little bit later. So there's a weight for each here, yeah. The money currency, that is very important. Items you loot through the missions, and you can sell them. And of course, these slots that I mentioned before. And weapons you need require these ladders. So now, let me check my notes. Maybe I forgot to mention something. Shit, I forgot to mention in level design. Yeah, there was definitely some cool maps like chapter. So chapter 15 was that was. I have a save file for it. I can show you the positive design of that map. There was some cool maps, yeah. Chapter 12 and 15 are probably one of my favorites. They pushed the limit to my tactics, brain. Yeah, sorry. I'm actually gonna quickly jump back to the. I should have looked into my notes here. Another monitor. Yeah. I will return to this, no problem. But yeah, let me show you the good design of the level example. So let me show you chapter 15 that I saved here. No, wait, it's a new game. Wait, I need to delete. Wait, it didn't let me start. I clicked on it and wait, can I even start a new game actually? It didn't let me click on wait. Delete file. There's a separate button for it. Okay, never mind. Okay, that was that potential. Imagine soft log because you overwrite all the save slots that are available. Oh man, if I would overwrite this chapter 15 just before I'm doing it live, I don't have a backup save either, so that'd be weird. All right, so let me show you the chapter 15 map and objectives. Just before the survive for 12 turns. So effectively you infiltrated the building here and you are surrounded by all the enemies, dangerous enemies. And yeah, the cool thing about this map is that there are going to be a lot of reinforcements also. A lot of maps got reinforcements. There's a boss with, again, special passive, yeah, which I was talking about. Special passive, special boss. He got also some gimmick you're going to find out on the map, which is a little bit immersion breaking. I told that to the developer also, and he agreed with me. But yeah, if you play the game right now before he fixes it, it might also break immersion for you. Anyway, so the map design. So you start in the middle, so you're already surrounded. That's a challenge. And you can see that there's different types of enemies, like a lot of axes here, 200 axes which break armor. There's a lot of like heavy guards here, a lot of skirmishers here. Fast enemies, there's quite a mix of everything here. So what do you need to, you have only what, 13 I think characters, 6, 8, 10, 14, okay. So you got 12 turns, and by the way, in the context of battles, you don't really, like, you need to clash multiple, sometimes turns in the same position, and well, if you're good at this game, you probably will find a way to cheese some things, yeah, but generally speaking, if you're gonna try to tank something and bait enemy and like exchange hits, it's gonna be taking your precious time, and there's objective here, 12 turns. So what do you see on this map? There's a chest here, passage here. Also, average movement of each character is 4 tiles, by the way, just so you can mention this. In fact, I believe that in this mission, if you don't have a character with the passive called cartography from one of the promotions, you basically might not even be able to even have enough mobility to go through here everywhere. But yeah, so the 4 movement without being blocked by the zone of control is the maximum movement for each turn. Count how many turns I need to get there, right? And I just one passage. There is the passage here. Bim, bim, bom, bim, bom. There's 2 chests. Also, just a reminder, you need to spend the entire turn to open the chest too with the character to talk to the chest. So that is a very long path to the chest. Then there's a bunch of enemies, a boss you want to kill. Then if you go here, there's another path, and it goes 2 more chests. And there's another chest here with even more, 2 chests even. So, what you need to do is split your team into 5 pieces. And I honestly believe here, if you don't possess already at this stage of the game, so to speak, god characters who can, well, solo the entire segment, but all by themselves, this mission will not be possible to do every single chest in time before the timer runs out. It will not be possible. But I did it, and also I want to mention chapter 12. Chapter 12 and 13 is also one of my favorite chapters. The story gets pretty hot, and a very hard mission if you play on a hard difficulty Iron Man. I mean, a permadeath. Because there's just annoying promotions. That is where the game gets a little difficulty spike, also where everything is got to get promotion, double promotion. And yeah, it just you gotta, there's gonna be objective. Not only there's like a timer, but you also need to touch 7 specific objects if you want to get like an extra super loot. And well, good luck with that one. Yeah, chapter 12 is definitely a treat, and of course chapter 13 is a follow-up for that one, and chapter 15 is what you see right now. Good luck with that one, for sure. And yeah, those are definitely where I would even say that this map is maybe overtuned, because I feel like, again, this map probably might be the only one where casuals might not even handle, like, again, how this mission is designed probably is like you need to just stick in a center, just bait all enemies and like just defend yourself from them and then kill boss, and then you survive enough to win. But then you're gonna miss on all the juicy loot. Also, don't worry about my cursor, you know, like sound effect. You can also, there's in settings, I think, disable UI sound thing. It just well, when the music is playing from the game, it's not that bad. It just yeah. I'm doing it right now. My background music is pretty quiet, so on purpose. So let's go back to the now off battle conversation. I probably shouldn't talk about a lot of pro tips I could give you here, because I'm definitely gonna do pro tips. So just gonna explain how the things work here. Each character you could get them weapons. There's preferably with sockets. In sockets you can insert these scrolls, which are called refinements, which are extra passive that you get, extra stats or abilities or passives that you get on the weapon. Very useful stuff. Definitely read through them. Some of these refinements are literally build deciding. Even I would even say god deciding passives. Yeah, so some of them. And again, I will talk about it later if somebody wants to get spoiled on some pro tips, like super cool stuff. And yeah, this all costs money upgrades, so keep that in mind. Okay, so one thing I'm gonna immediately mention is don't upgrade iron weapons at the start of the game. You're gonna quickly jump into steel weapons, and they're much better. And in fact, you can just probably complete an entire game with steel weapons. I'm not even kidding. Like there's a 3 tiers of itemization in this game. And again, yeah, I should mention it in the shop. Yeah, so this is a good thing in my opinion. I think for this game it's a good thing. Some people might say, oh, okay, so let me explain. I'm so sick of these JRPGs also with this so obvious and sometimes annoying, this, you know, stereotype of, oh, let's go to the village or town, next town, village, NPC, shopkeeper, oh, they're gonna sell a slightly better gear with like extra 2 stats, defense, attack, or whatever, and I have to purchase because it's slightly better, and it's like my character progression. Wow. And you know, you got these ores, you got like copper, iron, steel, like platinum, and there's like these fantasy games, Damascus, mithril ore, adamantium ore, like weapons, armor, like whatever. You know what I'm talking about. You play the RPGs. So I'm just, you know, tired of all that too. So again, it's nothing bad with it, but it just I'm tired of it. And yeah, this game is did a little basic approach to it, and honestly, I personally feel like it's a good thing. There's literally 3 tiers of weapons, and that's it. The one that you can purchase in a shop and loot that also. So you start iron, then steel immediately pretty much is available. Also, you just need money and that, and the B rank on the proficiency, and crucible, which you need S rank. And these are, again, when I said that there's no S rank weapons, I meant special weapons S rank. This is not special weapon, just default weapon from shops. Crucible. Crucible's tier 3 equipment in the game, and definitely the best if you got the money, but here is going to be a funny thing in this game, because a lot of people probably will not even going to get money for most of the Crucible upgrades and weapons, because there's one interesting thing the developer decided to do for the economy, and well, I should probably touch it briefly. So you play the game, you're mercenaries, you're like the gang of rangers and blah blah blah. You don't get shit as rewards in terms of money. You only get the money when conveniently the game gives you money after some major plot progress, when in a big pack of money, and that's so. Only at the start of the game you might find it as a secondary option chest, a second objective chest, and sometimes you get it from secondary objective too, but only at the beginning of the game. Later on you get no money whatsoever. Outside of the scripted, when Crucible items unlock, you get money like as a, well, it's expected because it's extremely expensive, and the game gives you like 7,000, 5,000 there, depending on your choices and what you did, but you get this kind of thing. So you ask, how do you get money? Well, you get money by selling your items that you get. This is why you're incentivized to get treasure chests in every map, because some of the items are really good. And you kill everything else on a map that gives you items also, all these like effigies and special items and artifacts. And it's also funny that most items that you can sell comes from the characters that you get in the game as the game progresses. So for example, I have a lot of bench characters, like, I don't know, like one of the Salvatore guy, yeah. So every bench character is naked because they came with a really powerful equipment, steel or even crucible at the end game. So they're gonna come with expensive gear, and you can just strip them and like to sell it right away. That's how you get money. And another way you can get money is, I don't know, I think it's more a bad thing instead of good, but again, props to the developer for doing this, I guess. At the chapter, I think 8, once you escape prison, you're gonna get this character called Melanie, and this character got the passive that just killed me inside. At that time in the game, 150 to 150 golds is a lot, by the way. Right now with the Crucible scaling, it's a little bit less on average, but it's still a lot. So yeah, you get a random amount of money every time this character kills. So you know what I did? Oh, I just loaded my in-game save file where you can see that she's over-leveled. Level 30 plus is usually on enemies, but she's super over-leveled. And why is that? Because I made her one of the god characters. And why is that? Because of this passive. Because the game doesn't give me money at all, and I wanted money. So what I did is that if there was a mission without timer, I killed every single enemy with Melanie, and I was baiting slowly, and AI in this game is kind of a little bit dumb. There's guard AI basically type of thing where they will stand forever. In fact, they're not even gonna aggro at you if you're attacking guards type of enemy through the ranged or like whatever. You can just attack them and go away. They're scripted to be constantly guarding the spot, which is awkward, and I will talk about it probably later also too. But yeah, you can exploit AI, you can exploit systems of, you can farm experience if you got no life and no time. I mean, plenty of time in the world. There's a lot of things you can exploit, again, just like you can expect from this type of game. But yeah, this passive is such a controversial thing and possibly a mistake even. But yeah, that forced me to, not really forced me, but because the economy is so shit in the game, and clearly you want to, there's so many things you can spend money on, upgrading your weapons and buying cool things and new tiers. I want money. Like you're gonna be like, if you don't use Melanie at all, like you're gonna do, there's gonna be 3 missions at some point in the campaign where you get no money whatsoever, no money, and there's gonna be time missions with timers. There's gonna be no money given to you whatsoever. It's brutal, and what you're gonna get is only some few items, few chests, and from enemies. You can sell them, yeah, I guess, and get something else. That's it. But with Melanie, everything changes. You can actually farm around 3 to 5 to maybe even more thousand money. And that amount of money is, it's not game-breaking money, of course, but it definitely helps you out. It stabilizes the weaknesses of... so a lot of characters are going to become weaker as we go, and this is a balance problem also, and stat problem. So because you're going to funnel experience into Melanie or somebody else who's got Tyrium, other character is going to be... So for example, one of my main party characters, like, I don't know, like Shiva maybe even? Like, what is her level? She's level 29. She's 11 levels behind, and her stats are way less, of course, and everything. But there's also good classes, and there's a bad classes in the game. And bad classes, or not bad classes, but like the classes that will probably get wrecked because of they get doubled, they don't have ability to sustain themselves, they die, permadeath is bad, and things like that. So there's just classes that are not really, you know, good for fighting, to be fair, like end game on this difficulty and everything. Due to, and especially if they're fall behind, enemies are really well scaled, they get guaranteed stands, unlike me with the random stat growth. So you're going to be outscaled pretty badly, and this is why you need these god characters, definitely, for sure, with the over stats to shit on a game content effectively and simplify it kind of further, I guess. But yeah, because of Melanie, you funnel enemies into her. She's on like, look at her. She got 39 speed, which is, by the way, on average. Okay, so just for the context, the top tier speed characters like skirmishers, enemy, are probably gonna have speed 30 something, 30, and this is insanely high also. Because if you compare my other characters, this is my this is the main character, by the way, Marcus. He's level 25. This is the main character of the game, and he's level 25. And his speed is, he's a berserker type of class, which is like not high speed, but he's at 22 speed. You need 4 higher speed to double, and that's it. 4 different speed is enough. So when you have endgame enemies with like 30 plus speed, most of the characters get doubled automatically. That's horrible. So, but on the other hand, the god character can handle them the opposite way. She's gonna double everything and evade everything. This is like, look at how much evasion she got and everything. So yeah, that's why they're god. And on top of that, there's also these items. By the way, this is actually funny because this item came with her. This is really funny. Increases the unit stat growth by 10 globally on level up. Reduces experience gain. Experience gain doesn't matter. What matters is the permanently available to increase the growth stats. This item is one of the best items in the game. Strength ring is also because, you know, strength, she's 45% strength, so kind of 50-50, so I gave her strength ring. There's only one ring of each stat in the game, so you have to kind of like itemize these things, yeah. And again, I probably started talking about a little bit of a pro tips here, but again, I would just it is a pro tip here stuff too, but I'm kind of like showing you the big issue or flaw with economy and what you can do here with the non-combat phase of the game after all. But yeah, I probably will cover this later as I go into pro tips category, because there's definitely a lot of things I could talk about a building character, yeah. And anyway, so it's a good thing that I briefly mentioned again stat growth, because you gotta feel it. You're gonna notice yourself. Most of your quote-unquote main characters or characters from the... Another PS factor is that a lot of characters that join your party later, they are higher level on average than your party, and they have more stats, so they're kind of like a direct power creep. So you're gonna have a characters who are much like there's a cleric called the Phoebe. She was since the start of the game, but she got power crabbed immediately the moment there was a better cleric with the better class also. So, and it happened with other characters too, unfortunately. And yeah, and the biggest incentive is for you is that they come with more guaranteed stats. And it's a partially my problem because I played on the random stat growth level ups. But again, even with the fixed growth rates, I had viewers coming and they're sharing their experiences. You're gonna have like just, you know, power creep kind of situation, right? And it's exciting to, like, the Hilda was a power creep, like a character who got also healing abilities, but she's just super tanky. She got good speed for the time of where she joined, and she can murder things with her double-handed axe, and you know. So meanwhile, the cleric obviously doesn't do damage. So there's a lot of cool things happening in the progress of the game, but yeah, it's a shame that you kind of like funnel experience into potentially your main characters or what's not, and then you realize they're bad, or classes are not as effective as others, and then you realize you need to probably funnel experience into, say, quote-unquote god characters, because that's just would be satisfying gameplay for you. And of course, Melanie that you get in the chapter 8 of all things. Oh, that's passive. Oh boy. All right, so anything else I should cover here before we move on to the next segment? I mean, what else you can do? Yeah, like shop items, pretty straightforward. Conversations, manage inventory, and advanced. That's it. That's the gameplay. There's no some kingdom to manage. There's no like traveling thing. There's no infinite farming missions. There's nothing like that. All right, let's go to the next topic, that is difficulty. Difficulty, well, already mentioned it. So there's permadeath, and permadeath got a flaw. The developer admitted to it too. Permadeath means nothing in this game because, well, no, let me explain. So in a story-wise, unfortunately, it means nothing. You can literally lose very important characters. So there's 3 main characters that you cannot lose because that's game over condition that developer put. But there's a bunch of very like starter characters. You start with like a lot of characters and they're very important. If they die, also, if it's funny because if you lose them in a mission in permadeath, they will still be available in conversations. The developer obviously replied to it as because he's the one person only. He didn't want to like do a bunch of work in editing for each scenario, which character dies and how they react to it, like how the character, like there's just some. Elias is a good example. Like he's basically character number 4, if you will. Yeah, if he dies, like most of the story is gonna also kind of feel weird suddenly. But you can lose him, yeah, and that's what the game mode allows you. So the permadeath means that you'll not be able to use them. They're dead, yeah, but the story is fine, and unfortunately the game does not really react to their deaths. The game only reacts at the final mission where some things happen and there's going to be some deaths, and then, well, obviously, hopefully the game reacts to that. The game difficulty, I said that it's lacking because, in all honesty, the game is pretty easy. Why? Well, let me just launch the mission, by the way, right now. That is on this chapter. And I'll show you. But I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? So, Ileana here. So we got the enemies. There's like a ball guy, whatever. Doesn't matter. So I just put this character and I could, like everybody else is out of the danger zone. So I just skip turn, end turn. Again, this is end of the game, so money is not important anymore. Okay, so just a point of reference, these are extremely powerful elite archers here, so they will hit me because they have a insane high accuracy, but everything else 0% chance to hit me, and they pretty much die. Again, for the context, this is end game, and elite enemies and power creep of things is insane, and even the god character is struggling to kill the tanky characters. So yeah. Oh, by the way, holy shit, that is a really lucky level. But yeah, probably gonna get hit again. Yeah, she's fine. 1 HP, no problem. Just gonna murder these quickly. There's like these sound effects too, icons, yeah, stealth. Alright. No, I didn't put my healers in the correct position, man. Okay. Did this harder for myself. Yeah, you see it's a end game here. Heavy plate, armor, defense boosted 50% against frontal attacks, so I need to go behind. I should have prepared a better position for my clerics here. But yeah, let's see if I can save the situation, really. Like, this cleric should be in here, so that gives the boosts. %1 chance to hit. Guess I could do that. Sorry, I wanted to flex faster, but this mission is actually kind of a little bit special for this here. I think I will not be able to get there. I'll just heal then. It's an easy kill here. Alright, there's just Archer again. He might I might expose on purpose somebody else here. So that Archer decides to shoot. But yeah, again, the point was that this character that I'm using on the front, she cannot dive. Again, everything just misses. Yeah, I think double and this cleric will survive due to the item I have there. But yeah, like miss, and then the enemy gets doubled, and they're dead. That's what like happens in every mission pretty much once you establish the status of quote-unquote god characters. And well, you're like, well, there's a difficulty. Well, the difficulty lies in the scripts and level designs and other things too, but also it's not going to be that fast, I guess, to, you know, get the god characters. Yeah, like at the end game here, some enemies can have a tiny chance to hit me, but that's still pretty crazy if you think about it. It's just they keep leveling too. Like, I mean, they're level 34 or 5 or something, so they're not that far away from me. Oh yeah, just one more turn, I'll show you. I think the Spikeman can attack the healer. Yeah, like that. But yeah, miss and double, and this thing is dead. The Berserker will come to me, they will miss and double hit. And then they resurrect because they have a passive like that. So you definitely need to read a bunch of skills in passive because the double promotion gives them like a lot of new abilities. So yeah, see, miss, double hit, they're dead. That's what happens. You scale your damage, you scale your attack, you upgrade your weapons for these characters, you upgrade everything you can, and they become, you know, god. So another thing I'm gonna quickly mention is the AI. Let me show you if there's a good example of this. I guess not in this mission. So yeah, not on this mission, but I will can load quickly on another mission. So why this game is easy or not lacking difficulty? Let me load the different mission. Mission 15. Skip. Yeah, good thing for future reviews. I need to definitely have like a multiple save files for different parts of the game so I can show different things. So what I'm trying to show you is, well, I mentioned it earlier. So there's defense AI. So look at this. There's enemies who you can literally just go around them. By the way, they're going to be standing still. So what does it mean? This means that they are only aggroed at one tile, and they're guards. And this is kind of like lazy development approach to this problem, honestly, but it is what it is. So if there's a really tanky character like this Centurion, yeah, it's a tank. And their shields replenish over, so each turn the shield value replenishes, so you can infinitely farm experience if there's no timer, if you want to. So what you do is you pick your tanky character with a bad weapon, or you de-equip their weapon or anything, so you don't do damage to them. Each time, even if you do 0 damage, you clash enemy, you get experience. And the computer attacks you, they get experience. And again, as long as you don't actually do damage to health, the enemy doesn't have a healer, so they will permanently lose that HP if you think about it. But yeah, you can train archers. You can this way train some weapon experience if you want to. But yeah. And speaking of my complaints about weapons and the classes, I mean not classes, but the letters of the ranks of the weapons. So let me explain it. Yeah, actually a good example here. Let me find maybe, no, probably Ileana, yeah. So yeah, this is a character from the beginning of the game, and obviously I've been using the swords in her SS rank, but what I'm trying to say is that it is extremely unfortunate that a lot of characters that you get later in the game, they get for free a lot of like Douglas ABBS payment rank there, or A, whatever. A lot of characters that like you get, they already gonna get good ladders, and that means that they can get a good quality steel weapon or even beyond that, right? The problem with that is that your starting characters that are supposed to be good, they usually funnel experience of like into one type of weapon, yeah, because you get most experience by when I kill them. But if especially in early and mid game, you cannot afford using bad weapon, because you're either gonna do no damage due to the damage difference, especially against more tanky characters, because defense is scaling, yeah. So a lot of enemies are gonna have decent defense too. So you really need to use actually good upgraded weapon to do damage. So in the start of the game, all of your characters are gonna C rank. So if I want to upgrade the bows, which is alternative good weapon to have, it takes so much effort to use bad weapon. Iron bow, you can only use iron bows as C rank. In order to use steel bow, you're gonna get B rank. Before that, you're stuck with the crappy iron bow for all eternity. And why would you use iron bow when you have like insanely powerful other weapon, right? That you need to kill. There's a timer missions, you cannot afford training this, so it's really frustrating. There's no like catch-up mechanic for this. It's kind of like design flaw, if you will, yeah. So there's no, in a lot of games there's like a training thing or something. You can like bench characters can level up, bench characters can train with their attributes, like there's no catch-up mechanics, so it really feels bad with the characters who are not participating, or participating but they're not utilizing their other type of weapons. So you cannot even use the other type of weapons effectively for your best potential. And it took me a lot of min-maxing and effort to even give some characters a steel bow instead of iron bow or other weapon. So for some characters I just gave up, yeah, like iron polearm, yeah, like I tried to level it up, but yeah, I just gave up. Yeah, this S rank spear, good enough for me. Like, screw this iron polearm, load shit damage. And I tried to, yeah, you see, I got some experience. It's just, you might as well remove this item and completely, and there's going to be a lot less weight problems too for that. So that's definitely an unfortunate situation here. And a next topic I want to bring to while discussing well, it's more like a gameplay, non-combat actually related also. But I forgot to mention it there. But itemization of items, yeah. So there's not that many quote-unquote legendary, special, unique items in the game, and unfortunately. Meanwhile, it's not a bad thing per se, because the game is still fun with it, but it's just there's different problem. I should correct myself. There's a lot of these items, but they're just bad. Okay, I have a pictures for them here, even as prepared. So there's an item called Swihunter, yeah? That's alternate. So this game is facing the problem that I call side grades, or even downgrades. So you compare this to the steel two-handed sword, and you realize that it's it doesn't, like, a lot of these special named items doesn't even have a special ability, just like slightly better stats, or so slightly better accuracy, or less damage, more accuracy, and like less weight, and proficiency requirement is slightly like A instead of B for the steel sword. So this is a prime example of trash. And why is it trash, you might ask? Because this weapon doesn't have 2 sockets, or 1 at all, 0 sockets, and that is horrible. And another reason why this is horrible, because this item is twice as expensive, as you can see by the price tag. Every upgrade for this weapon is twice or even more than that is expensive compared to the default weapon in terms of forge upgrading and for the stats that you want to have on a side grade weapon, yeah? So it's all the way horrible to even have that. So by the time you get Swihunter or like another weapon, I have a picture here, like S-Stock here, another example, with the tooltip, so just kind of like a side grade. So by the time you get these weapons in a game, you're gonna get steel weapons and with upgrades, and they already do more damage, more hit chance because of upgrades. And I haven't even talked about the sockets. There's the sockets into steel. Every weapon, the default tier got 2 sockets. Special weapons got 0 sockets or 1 socket sometimes. Thank God there's a 1 socket sometimes, because holy shit. So yeah, the 0 socket is absolutely horrible, because let me explain with the sockets. You can put inside socket a guarantee 3-4 damage per hit. You can guarantee yourself extra hit there too. You can, it's a power, it's effectively how you upgrade your gear too, instead of some extra equipment slots, right, for the character, like some gloves, rings, whatever, like other things, boots. So you can put also special abilities on this. You can find very unique these scrolls, enchantments for the weapons, yeah, refinements as they're called, with the special effects. Like you kill one enemy, there's like a AoE damage happens on top of it. There's like double damage effects and all sorts of fun things. Also, shit, I just realized that I forgot to mention the game doesn't have a crit system, which is a nice thing. Not every game needs a crit system, but yeah, forgot to mention it a long time ago at the beginning. So yeah, this is a bit unfortunate. And again, sorry, I said it on stream and the developer knows about it, yeah, but like, you dropped the ball here with itemization. It's so exciting to get the side objectives. It's so exciting to get the chest opened, and you find this trash. Like, it's literally trash. You cannot even argue with me here, pretty much. I think you did it on purpose though, because the price tag on these items is twice as much as normal weapons, and for selling, it's basically kind of like a stabilizer. So it's a 600, as you can see the price tag, right? So what you do is you don't get money on the mission without Melanie, and you sell these items easily. Most of them, you don't need them, though there's exceptions. And that's luckily, if there was no good items at all in the game, like special items, I would actually probably mark this red, and I would be really unhappy with that. But luckily there's good items too, and there are definitely more exceptions than everything, and some of the cool stuff exists, and I probably will show it later in the pro tips category of my video. So yeah, that's a bit of rant on, or not rant, but like just critique of that itemization effectively, which is a shame. Yeah, could be definitely handled better. Just you get scammed by the rewards effectively, and then yeah, at the end of the game, the developer stopped making any unique items at all. Like I said, chapter 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There's no chest rewards, no item rewards. You like you only get like and before that you get only the crucible items as your reward, which is also pretty funny. You get like basically the same item you can get from shop already several missions ago. So it's like, man, what the heck. So yeah, those again, final 5 chapters are just drop a ball on that. No special passive on enemies, no unique passive, no unique equipment, no unique equipment for yourself. Just a mindless stat power creep on enemies, a bunch of elite enemies that without gear standing your way with the stat power creep, and just kill everything. There's no timer, there's no other things, just spawn reinforcements to just timers. No, I mean, yeah. Anyway, what we're talking about, the depth difficulty of the game. Yeah, so I was just showing you the water I'm showing you right now. Why I uploaded this map, by the way, I wanted to show you something here. Showing you the chest, or like no, I was showing you something else. I was showing you why the game is easy, the lacking difficulty. Yeah, so why the hell these enemies that are guarding? So when Archer shoots them, why would they stay still and let them continue shooting it? They should be moving and attacking like this. I actually don't think I played a single tactics game where an enemy just standing still like they're brain dead. Yeah, there should be some aggro, but it's probably too late again for that. So kind of changed, but yeah, there we go. I think that's all I wanted to talk about in this like difficulty section. Let's go for depth complexity. Well, depth complexity is already kind of, I talked a lot, but that's just because this is connected to a lot of systems in the game. I said basic with the asterisk. Well, it is basic, yeah. It's fun basic, but there's definitely flaws into it and side effects. Because even developer, when I ask them about how they feel about the growth rate situation, it's because there's definitely a flaw in the mathematics in how you stats like defense are just gonna be higher valued, and of course speeds, strength. Like vitality gets behind. Vitality number will get behind the power and defense due to how double attack works, and just it really feels bad. I repeat myself when you don't get even HP. So most of your characters who are like from the beginning of the game, main characters, like theoretically, like if I let that computer attack me, like again. You cannot even take chances here too much. Look at the 40%, is a pretty good chance to hit. If I get hit, I get hurt, and next hit is gonna kill me, yeah? And, oh, there's 85% here. And again, this is Marcus, one of the main characters. But again, this is because there's another issue with the spear. Yeah, this enemy got spear, or polearms. Spears and polearms are objectively better in a lot of factors than most weapons in the game, because spears got 20% extra accuracy as an innate bonus when they attacks or defend, so it's a huge bonus. And I would definitely recommend focusing on characters who can use it. Spears, yeah, but assassins and backstabbers, of course, the swords, because there's a bunch of abilities and bonuses for the swords. The axes are designed to be armor breaking, but you can just bypass armor in other ways. Like armor, the two-handed and one-handed axe users in this game definitely feel one of the worst in terms of the design, because they get shit speed accuracy as their side problem, and this basically kills the character. You cannot, like, look at this. You cannot afford, like, there's gonna be guarantee hits against you and just a bunch of other issues, debuffs, shooting, like, you cannot dodge anything and you just die. And what you do is like, you miss. That's what you do with these characters, because they have a bad stat on accuracy and they don't get bonus for accuracy. It's horrible. And what this X does is that, oh, it penetrates the shields. Oh, that's not important, by the way. It is important for computer to bypass it if you're using tanky shields, yeah. But for you, it's not even that important. There's plenty of ways to deny shields. Trust me, once you play the game, you will feel it, see it, and all. Like, the axes are definitely the least fun thing to use. Polearm spears are definitely awesome. The polearm can attack two things. It can pull enemies. There's a special item. Archers are the king. The sword users are obviously awesome. And spears are awesome, yeah, like I said. So I believe that's all the weapons, yeah. So just a lot of characters are full. It could be easily bad because of their passive. They're just the power creep on other characters are just better. Power creep on stats. They're just bad combination of class automated promotions by the story. Just they're not capable of the fight anymore. That's why you need to rely on a character like in my case, where is she? Melanie, look at that, 0%, 0 damage, yeah, double hit. Suddenly. Oh, if I use this hammer guy, 22% chance to hit, 30% chance to hit. So, yeah, missing a hit, then getting doubled or well, this character got a passive to not get doubled, but besides the point, yeah. Then bunch exposed, no shields, no protection, bunch of debuffs, you're gonna get shot, you're gonna die, and GG, permadeath. You cannot even expose. The only way you can use these characters is some kind of finisher blow for the one, something, or you just use special ability that is extremely powerful on limited uses. Otherwise, it's an extremely dangerous idea to use them. So what you're kind of forced to use these god characters that you create and run, right? You gotta use them. You gotta use the god characters, yeah. Now look at that, death, and also it's just a tempo play. You want to kill. Also, the game will feature later the promotions where you can restore turn after a kill with the specific conditions. The clerics also, specific cleric promotions also can restore turn with ability once per 3 turns. This ability definitely recommend abusing the system of free turns. You know, chaining kills, you know, just simple demonstration. Yeah, miss. Kill an enemy. Also, again, there's assassin class that if you kill somebody from behind, they get the refresh on a turn. You can also abuse the classes that give you mark. So there's a status called mark, which is very useful. Marked as lose 3 defense and lose 20 of wooden, so it's easier to hit them. But most importantly, there's a classes in a game that if you kill enemy with a mark, you're gonna get the turn back. Look at this. So I killed this enemy. I got money because that's Melanie, and also because of the passive, the mark spreads into other enemies, and I get a free turn. And now I can go behind and kill this enemy too, and then I can chain it again and like use the other characters there. And so this is how you play effectively. You kill with one action and then restore your turn if you can. And don't waste time doing these like stupid clashes at this point where you're probably gonna get a lot of damage back and then you have to heal it, because otherwise these characters are absolutely gonna die anyway by something that's close to you. So that's how the game revolves, right? So you again, it happens a lot in Tactics game, you know, god characters evolve to a point where they get completely, they obliterate the content. And again, it's a normal thing, but to get to this point in the game, you also need to get an effort. I mean, it happens around mid-game, of course, and you also need to know how to do it. And if you're wondering how, well, I will talk about it in the pro tips, of course. Even though I've been talking about pro tips already plenty, there's going to be definitely a segment for it later. And at this point, I think my pro tips segment is just going to be telling you about some cool items that I feel like really strong. And I already talked about the money pro tips about Melanie, so yeah, like I already covered that with mark status, class promotion, synergies. Yeah, there's also overkill class promotion, which I recommend using, like with this ability with triple damage or double damage. You can get free turns there too. Guard AI, I already talked about it. Spears and small shields. Yeah, small. Don't bother with buying expensive shields, except for the exception of tanks. Small shields in this game are the best, unironically, because the buckler gives you 10% evasion when you're facing enemy and your shield is undepleted. So that's basically synergized with the god status, right? So what happens is this: you're facing enemy with the shield, right? And because you're agile and you're never gonna get hit, or they will get hit, but because it's a spear, so whatever. Like if I attack this guy, it will be 0%. So it's a cool synergy. You're never gonna get hit, your shield never gonna deplete. Oh, you get a free 10% extra evasion just because of that shield. Nice. Definitely utilize it. Yeah. Again, it's actually pro tip, but whatever. Freebie for now. So there's that. Sorry, I'm just alt-tabbing on the camera. This goes to shit here. So here, yeah, the depth complexity. What else I should mention? I think I mentioned pretty much everything that needs to be mentioned. Yeah, bad and good things about it. I personally was fine and enjoyed the game for what it is, but yeah, there's definitely, once you start tearing down things, the flaws are definitely showing itself, and things could be improved better or just more thought about. But some things you cannot change that much because the game utilizes the growth rate stat system, and you cannot really change that much anymore with math. Yeah, and there's no magic defense, there's no separate resistances, there's no like some kind of complicated percent based formula. So you get flat stats, compare them, and you get results. Pretty simple. That's why I like the game also, in regard, not because I like simple things, but because that was something, just a combination of simplicity with other mechanics and on non-combat related things that are pretty cool take, instead of just being overly complicated and just this cliche JRPG style stuff. And again, I'm a very, very jaded tactics strategy type of gamer. Yeah, like it's one of my favorite genres, and I played so many of the games in that kind. So it's hard to impress me with anything in that regard, or it's hard to impress me to begin with. Yeah, but just saying, I'm really passionate about it when I talk about tactics and strategy games, as my community understands when I play these. So yeah, the next topic is game length, but I mean that's just there's no spoilers for it. What else I can say? It's lengthy game. I put it in green because that's not 10-hour game or a 2-hour game and you refund it or something. Plenty of content, plenty of missions, plenty of story to read, plenty of things to feel, and feel good or bad, like good enough. Performance bugs, category of discussion. I also probably should, like, I didn't put asterisks in that image. Yeah, okay. So already, like, what I'm talking about is where's the image? Oops. So yeah, like everywhere there's asterisks, that means that I'm supposed to talk more about it in like a segment about spoilers zone. And then game length, performance bugs. I don't have asterisks. Cool. Is late game engaging? And there's the final topic. No, with asterisks. Well, I already talked about it all. Also, the failure of the 5 chapters, the disappointment of the lack of creativity, the gameplay content of those missions is at least the story was good still, because if the story was also bad, then it'll be just one of those standards. And again, just a reminder, a lot of AAA games, a lot of AA indies, it's a normal game thing in development where the last third of the game is just falls into category, falls the inequality compared to the early game. It's usually just it's I mean, Elden Ring, yeah, any game, like huge, your favorite game, it's super exciting to start, it's a cool thing to explore in the mid game, and then later you become god or overpowered character that just shits on everything, brute forces, and then the end game just slop, and you wish you finish it quickly, and then you're just done with it. Yeah, That's a normal thing. It's really rare when the game is like, if you're gonna see more of my reviews, honestly, is late game engaging, you're probably gonna see no in a lot of places. Yeah, it's really hard to find a good game that's engaged. Like Hollow Knight, for example, is a game that is exceptionally well done, where the end game is still engaging. But yeah, there's a lot of like ways to become god and in end game and even mid game. So if you're gamer and played some, not even a lot of games, but some of them, you probably know what I'm talking about. And this game also suffers from that. Feels like, again, I don't have a direct comment from developer about it, but I mean, we've been talking with developer on streams and DMs a lot, so I haven't brought it up, but because they were busy in my final day of the stream where these issues arose. So, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna tell that they agree that, kind of like they just wanted to finish the game and release it and get the money finally out of it. And by the way, huge success for such a project, one-man project, no publisher, 100 concurrent players in such a genre, that is like niche genre, that is crazy, honestly. Yeah, I'm happy for you. And yeah, I enjoyed the game. I didn't drop it at 1 or 2 streams. I completed it, and unfortunately I didn't upload it on YouTube for the full playthrough because, again, I was really cynical and cautious whenever the game is going to be good or bad. But and at the end of the day, I mean, it's a lot of hours, yeah, like spent. I don't know, like it's not. There's also other YouTubers who uploaded their playthrough, and they pretty much going to be similar to mine. It's actually funny. I saw the one YouTuber, I'm going to mention it later. So they created the god character in the same way as I did, even though I was not aware of that. I did it myself. So they're like, even entire thumbnail of their videos is just praising the character. She's the queen, she's the damage queen, and all that. And I will tell you very soon about what is this in the pro tips. Yeah. So yeah, that's again, to developer, if he's gonna watch this review, don't feel bad about like that point about late game engaging. It just very hard to satisfy that requirement. I mean, it just many factors come into play, again, like budget, time, just want to finish it, actually just not enough creativity, or just other things. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. I just trying to tell what I felt and what I experienced it as I play the game. All right, it's time for pro tips, which is funny because most of them I already probably said. Okay, well, pro tips about money. You heard me about Melanie and how to farm money with her. That's a huge pro tip. Please use this character. Also, don't you even dare to lose her or do something with her. She possesses this amazing book item, and let me just load this safe and I'll show you my itemization and some things I need to discuss. So at the early game, you're gonna get these rings. Again, early game, try to do every single objective, every single side objective, chest. You're gonna find incredible. Like early game, you're gonna get definitely the exciting parts. In fact, you're gonna find early game items that are feeling probably bad, but in reality, they're gonna be super strong later on. And I will show you also what I'm talking about. An item called Bright Feathers. This item, probably don't sell it. Please don't sell this item. This item is so powerful, actually. Mark any enemy you target with and hit the bow. Of course, you need to hit, but obviously just try to level up skill and give your bow user the upgrade for the accuracy. So what is and especially when you double it and kill it. So what happens here? Bright Feathers. You mark with the first hit. With the second hit, you kill enemy. Then, because of the class, this character, Ajax, for example, I mean, so what they have here, plus range, and what does this is important. When defeating enemy, transfer their marked and fear status effect to all adjacent enemies. And on top of that, they also get this passive. The first time you kill this unit with a mark, fear, bleeding, rooted, refresh their turn. So this is guaranteed super synergy. You can get a free turn, you spread the effect of the mark. And this is only going to happen from level 20 plus from the second promotion. So at the start of the game, yeah, this will be less effective, but you can still utilize the debuff, yeah. But and in early game, there's going to be probably some competition for the slots, yeah. There's going to be a lot of cool, exciting characters and limited artifact slots. You constantly have to choose what to equip. But yeah, don't sleep on this item. This is actually really powerful. You're gonna synergize. Again, it synergizes with other the same class character. So if you're gonna take this promotion, it's gonna synergize with other people who can put the mark. And also, there's another class who is a scout or something called. One moment. Where's the? So yeah, this passive. Keen Eye. At the start of your turn, apply mark status to enemy with at least HP 3 tiles, reducing their average in defense. You get passive, so you obviously give it to frontliners, so shields or whatever, somebody who can sustain, and they're going to be marking people. And not only is it a good debuff, but you're going to synergize with other things. So you got to try to find these synergies, pretty cool stuff. Again, this is just one of the strat. There's overwhelmed strategy you can use with the double damage weapons. And this devastating strike ability. And of course also assassins. Let me show you assassin. Assassin is just amazing. They get first time you kill unit backstab, refresh their turn. They get doubled bonuses from flank and backstabs. They get all sorts of bonuses from flanks. They got stealth. The assassin in this game is just the same OP shit as from King Arthur Night Tale vanguards with their stealth. I'm gonna be honest with you, they're really you cheating the system of the zone of control in this game with this, and it's such a premium thing to do. Definitely recommend investing into assassins if you can. There's also a bunch of cool, useful refinements. But yeah, let's talk about now. Though it's actually crazy that you can miss this as a secondary objective, and also you can just sell it by accident. But let me show you the most broken thing in the game. Where is this? Here we go. Enduring refinement that you get. I think you get it in chapter 2 or 3, somewhere like or very early in the game. This weapon now uses endurance instead of strength for attack calculations. So what does that mean? Let me give you a brief down. So the strength is usually counts for the total attack, and then the damage is calculated, yeah? But here comes this important part. A lot of characters who are not strength, who are agile and they have a good skill, aka hit chance, they're by design got bad strength. You're not gonna get a lot of strength because of that, right? So their damage is gonna fall off. But what if you actually give them endurance conversion and also give them endurance ring? Again, it's not only you can do it with her, but it's definitely I recommend it because it's one of the main characters since the start of the game, and she gets really good synergy with the speed and hits and a high evasion also. So she's like primary candidate to exploit basically. Yeah. The only her weakness is defense, but who cares? And strength obviously, but who cares, because if she dodges everything, she doesn't gonna die. Yeah. So here's the whole simplicity of the system, right, if you will. So you give her shield, you give her total effigy, which is also early game item relatively. When equipped with shield, full block, gain 3 attack and hit chance, so even more. But to be fair, this is a flexible slot. You can find other items in the game and give it to her. Like again, this is a flexible slot. Endurance ring is best in a slot for her in this build, and of course you want to give, well, eventually you'll find stilettos, like a stealth blade that gives you free turn if you kill with that specific stiletto weapon. So what you need to do is you want to give a free turn kill a wounded enemy with the stiletto, and then you regain a turn for free. Promotions is again however you like, but definitely recommend giving her the first promotion as the whatever the hell it was called, basically the assassin promotion. That denies zone of controls, because killing from behind and just denying it's so satisfying. But yeah, again, the class promotion is flexible too. The bow, she can use bows also, and definitely recommend trying to you can use even this weighted refinement, which gives a lot of attack but reduces speed because of how fast she's gonna be anyway, so it's a really premium thing to get. Normally you would not use the weighted because speed is very important. Don't ever use it on characters that are medium speed, because that you'll feel so bad when medium speed character is gonna be suddenly doubled by most the roster of the game of the enemies, so you want to have at least not double. So when it comes to this weighted thing. But yeah, yeah, that's pretty much that's the build. This one refinement determines the fate of entire game, if you think about it, for the one god character that can become. But at the end of the day, you need to find just a character who is very fast, got a good speed, the modifier, yeah, the growth rate. Endurance base, because with endurance you want to, so the idea is that every level should be proc on endurance. Unfortunately it's not 80%, it's not 90, but 70 is good enough. You want that proc, right? On level up, so you don't need defensive characters here, you don't need even vitality character, you don't need well, hell, you don't even need that much skill, to be fair, and yeah, she's only at 60%. So you need to find a character who fits your requirement for that. Then maybe even their special passive is going to help too. And also I mean, obviously, if they wear only like axes, that's going to be also bad. You want to wear either like spear or sword for this kind of strat. But yeah, there we go. That's the secret of Ileana. This one refinement. And yeah, there's another best in a slot refinement called Expert, which is you can, once you get S rank on any weapon, you can put it inside. If you have S rank or higher, you get to attack 10 hit for free. And again, this means double or triple, you get more damage. So it's not 2 but 4 and so forth. And look at the damage difference. Like, look at this. She got 22 strength but 37 endurance. She is overscaled almost double amount of potential damage that other normal enemy would do, like with the strength scaling. Yeah, that is why this thing is just nuts. All right, now we talked about that. Let's talk about some other items that I feel are very strong. Definitely give Vitality Ring to some good tanks. Sliker is a main character, and giving him Vitality guarantee is kind of funny, but it's nice to... I should have given him actually earlier in the game that ring, but yeah, like him having a lot of HP is useful. But yeah, you can give the Vitality Ring to everybody you want. So let's go check items. Loaded Dice is also a relatively early item you get at the start of the game, and which is good for the Marcus, because Marcus is horrible with his skill, so he's gonna miss every hit, but this item is pretty funky if you read the description of it. So if a Marcus is gonna get 40-60% chance to hit, it becomes 100 instead, so which is nice. So you need to try to manipulate your speed to this. It's not super bad, but like in the middle, and then you get this. And yeah, I gave him even skill ring, because without skill ring he'd probably be even more, like it would be unplayable, because everything would be 0% chance to hit, 20%, like it's horrible. Yeah. Like there's some late game refinements here. I'm not gonna talk about them because they're late game. Yeah, I'm just showing you some early game stuff. Early game you're gonna get item called Swift Boots, which is extremely powerful too, but for the different reason. It just, you get one move. I recommend giving this to assassins. You can also give it to archers, but assassins are definitely who can go behind are definitely gonna enjoy that for sure. Absolutely. When you get Melanie, she's gonna come with the Ahriman Grimoire, which is overpowered as fuck. it gives everything 10% extra stat growth, but considering she became god character due to her stupid passive, she's by default already supposed to be god character, so she's the one who got Grimoire, she's the one who's using it, and of course I gave her Strength Ring because Endurance is not applicable here, and Strength is definitely... I mean, look at this, even with the Strength Ring, she's below Endurance, like, it's just my better RNG, I guess, but yeah, that is what it is. Let's go other characters. Talon. Talon's a cool healer with double turn, the vital points. He also got this perk, which is very important. Aura, this is the power creep I've been telling, yeah, like, you get characters that are just much better to use, and you will permanently forget your outdated character. This guy got 3 attack aura, which means that you can get 6 extra attack for a unit, and suddenly that might be one shot for, enemy. Though effigy is going to be relatively early item, a very heavy item, but it's very strong also. Look at this. First time each turn you use the healing ability, an ally. When ally without healing them, a full refresher turn. So you can purposely move somewhere and then heal and then get a second turn and move somewhere else. You can like move a lot with that healer and reposition them. Pretty cool stuff. And this is a late game item, but it's like useless. Don't mind that. Ajax, pretty cool character. There's going to be an item called Longbow. Definitely recommend using it. It's this is a side grade that is actually good. It got a 1 socket, so it's not trash like other weapons I showed earlier. And also, this Longbow is it's got a unique ability of 1 extra range, which makes him one of the characters only who can even get 4 range on bow. If you have a passive +1 range plus the bow, you can get 4 range archers, which is nuts. And with the build of the bright feathers and the scout mark, you can spread it around. It's really nice. And he comes with luckily he comes with the good speeds. So generally speaking, even if he gets bad rolls on level ups, he comes with a good speed, so it'll be fine. This item is just an early game drug that gives some attack and speed that could be useful, but yeah. Next, the Douglas is like a mid-game tank that you get. He's completely broken character for the different reason. He's like he doesn't clear map for free and fast. He just stalls infinitely. He's unkillable. This character is just literally unkillable. With the defense rank, you can get to him 80% def. If you give him Grimoire, it's 90%. Defensive, it's a stat that you can, like, theoretically, you can just who cares about accuracy, who cares about speed, who cares about anything? If you just, even if from backstabs, you will take 0 damage. Not to mention he got a shield that is like it's best in a game like Steel Tower, yeah. I mean, there's a better one, but Tower Shield, I mean, like that gives also more defense. And also for context, this character gains stack of more stuff, and on top of that, check this out, he comes with this passive. At the start of turn, if you move 2 or less tiles last turn, gain Fortify equal to 20% of your defense. Fortify means that it's an extra defense on top of your existing defense. So you can get like easily 40 defense, which is even the top tier DPS characters cannot even do that much. So the only way you can damage this character is through the two-handed axis, which got a passive ignore 25% ignore base defense round down, but it's still not enough. The one way you can damage this character is by using something like this called Warhammer. Very unique for the player weapon, and one of the best weapons in the game, by the way. This weapon does double damage to armored units, defenders, and their promotions. So, and it also ignores enemy shields, and it ignores a defense. So if Douglas gets doubled with the Warhammer 3 times, he will die. But again, Warhammer is extremely rare for the enemies, and there's only 1 copy of Warhammer in an entire game. And once I get to this character, just a moment, I'll talk about this more, yeah. So Shiva here, standard assassin build, heal them. There's an item called Skirmisher Boots. At the start of the game, you get a very useful item. Especially for archers or as healers, can move to spaces after an it's an agile passive that some characters also get for free, but besides the point, that's very useful stuff. So if no zone of control, you can move 2 spaces away, reposition. It's extremely cool tactical item. It saved my ass so many times, and on different characters, definitely recommend using it. Self-healing item, definitely good too if you get it. But again, you can sell some of the equipment, by the way. Like mountain boots is a meme item, like Drakkar item. Some items are definitely memey, but yeah, I'm just showing you. There's the filler stuff, agility ring. Agility ring. Bill hook is a unique weapon that I kind of like. It's exception. It's one of the exceptions that were like a side grade because you know you can still there's a socket into it, and there's a unique ability pulling enemy closer to you, so you can move a tank closer to you or reposition them for the backstabbing. It's a really cool tactic. There's nothing. This game doesn't feature swapping like in Urtuk. You cannot swap your characters. You cannot swap easily. In fact, swapping is extremely premium passive that you get on the second promotion on some abilities. So swapping is extremely like you have to think ahead for that. So when you get the bill hook and you know that's nice. This ability here, heel hook. Attack an enemy straight 2 tiles, also ranged attack technically. Yeah, if possible, pull them adjacent tile. This is really nice. And it doesn't matter, lose 20% hit because this is the you know first strike passive where you gain 20% hits. So like who cares? Warhammer, yeah, this thing you're gonna get it like almost like kind of like at the start of the mid game before it maybe it's so Warhammer is beautiful. It doesn't have a single socket, but this will carry you in specific chapters where you need to be carried for. There's gonna be a lot of armor. There's a timer. If you want to get all the chests, you need to kill them effectively. And this, I don't like. You can give it to a lot of characters, not just Benjamin, but Benjamin got a unique passive called Resolute. Cannot double attack, nor can be doubled to agility difference. It's pretty cool. So speed doesn't matter, and he got very low speed, so he's gonna get always double, but because of that passive he cannot get double, so Warhammer is being utilized to the best potential. If you have money, definitely recommend pumping, even though it's expensive, pump the stats, especially accuracy to Warhammers. Warhammer is it's effectively double without being double, a high speed character, and it's very satisfying. And I don't know if you it's not always you need to attack armored units, and besides they're usually guards, they're not even doing anything, but yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. And I think that's it. The rest is naked, and let me then show you the other things that I need to recommend. There's a healing items and potions called bandages, but trust me, I played this game on the hardest difficulty permadeath. You don't need a single bandage. I think I used bandage maybe once or twice an entire game when, you know, just I had nothing else to do. I might as well heal, because again, you'll play the game, you'll see why. It's not that you can sell easily all these bandages for money. It's a good money, by the way. So yeah, there's a lot of extra refinements that are just not good for my build personally. There's like double damage if there's bleeding units. There's when defeating enemy full restore block, like some hit chance gain a second. Like some of the refinements just couldn't fit in my team and everything. It's just better to put Predator. Predator is early game available, is always good. It's free attack and a hit against injured, super useful. Cheap also, most importantly, and the best one is Expert Refinement, which you get like in mid-game. Once you get S rank, I start putting this, it's best in the slot. Fate is silly, don't bother with it, expensive, and it's meme. Tricky Refinement, you can use it on Assassins, otherwise just use their Expert and Predator. Refinements is not worth it in my opinion because they're expensive, and also it's only effective against specific type of weapons, so against axes, spear veins, it's kind of like emulating that a little, but it's not double, it's just a little bit like, look at this, one attack, one dev, like it's nothing, dude. It's also expensive. Don't buy these. Predator is really good for the price. Also one weight, the weight parameter might be important too for characters because there's a limit of weight depending on the stat, especially early game. This is risky, but really fast characters can definitely utilize it. But again, you want to probably have a very fast characters to be very fast characters so that they can double against anybody, including fast characters of enemies. So minimal. This is a bait. It's a good thing, but it's definitely good for those who got abysmally low speeds, so that you don't have to worry about being always doubled or not. Hone refinement is don't recommend it. Sharpen refinement is a meme. Wasted. It's interesting enough, in the entire game I never use whetstone, even though it kind of looks okay, though it's two-way, yeah. And so the reason why I didn't use whetstone, even though it gives everyone one attack, let me explain. Because you get, if you do every objective side mission, side objective chest, you're gonna get enough items to equip, and they're gonna be more exciting than just simply one attack, that's for sure. Scabbard could be useful for some characters who got really heavy weapons and shields, who needs to fix their problem with weight. So some of my characters had it. Don't recommend buying that, it's trash, but you get one for free at the start of the campaign, so you can use it. Otherwise, that's just not worth it, temporarily thing, and that's it. Okay, when it comes to itemization, yeah, so be very careful. Dude, why is triple price on this tungsten tower shield? You're gonna get no money. Anyway, so like I said, you want to straight in the start of the game focus on steel weapons, and pretty much you can beat the entire game with just steel weapons and keep upgrading them. Because funny thing is, upgraded steel sword is the same as so Crucible's weapons are same or weaker even than full upgraded steel swords. It's only when you start upgrading the Crucible items with the payment with the forge, then they get stronger. So keep in mind on that too. But yeah, don't never upgrade iron's weapons, because that's just a waste, and they also have one socket, as you can see. You will quickly get the B rank, and you can get the steel money for the steel weapons. Definitely get them. Also, a bunch of characters that are gonna join your party are gonna have the steel weapons, and then eventually crucibles for free, and then you can sell. It's great stuff. And yeah, that's about it. Don't waste money on the kite shield. Is a kind of garbage. Like, yeah, the shield badge, but trust me, you don't bother with that either. Round shields, any one, just as long as you have a passive for evasion for the characters who are really agile. And of course, Gigatanks one's ideally tower shield, because that's a beast of the thing, because of passive and the amount of shield you get. Yep. And that's all the tips I can give you to itemization. Surely you can discover some maybe separate builds. Definitely, I mean, I haven't used some classes on purpose because of how the game went. And again, I was playing blind. I had no idea about second promotion, what it's going to be. I was just like leveling as I go. But yeah, those definitely I would try some other things now that I know about every single ability and every single class. But yeah, back to the Warhammer and the situation with this thing. Unfortunately, there's also only one Warhammer and pole hammer. It's a mix of hammer with a halberd. And I couldn't even find a character to use it really with, but because, you know, there's a hit chance, potential anyway, my build was fine. I didn't really need it. And again, there's not even that many armored enemies to deal with it. But yeah, to my disappointment, also the developer didn't really brought more double damage unique legendaries that do, because that's the only, like, arguably you saw it, only the Warhammer is a good weapon, yeah. And well, Billhook is like a meme utility tool for those who like to do a little bit tactics, yeah, a little bit extra. Outside of that, that's it. The Warhammer is the only usable item. Everything else, I sold all of these items in the save file. I can't even show you anymore. But there's been so many of these side grades or downgrades. You will find them, be excited at first, see what they are. Then you realize there's no sockets, bad stats. Sell them for money, be happy. That's all. That's what I did. And yeah, effigies, depending on the items, like, you will find some fun figure on how to use the effigies and your synergy with other items. All right, that's the game. That's the entire game. 2 hours, 18 minutes review. Oh wow. Whew. Well, yeah, I can't expect that much. So much for the quickly covering these topics. But yeah. And I probably will write Steam review also, because why not? I have the video coming, uploading, so Well, I hope you enjoyed this. This is what I do. You know, I do live streams on Twitch and I upload them on YouTube, most of them. Unless the game is like some kind of infinite roguelike or, you know, something that's just spammy for YouTube, I'm not gonna upload it. I do these first impression videos. First impression videos are much shorter, yeah, like 10, 20, 30 minutes at best. Reviews, in-depth reviews like this are usually, you know, longer, maybe 1 hour, maybe, well, let's do it. This one is experimental review where I'm like literally explaining everything. The reason I'm doing this for this game because I haven't uploaded my Let's Play. I haven't uploaded any video on YouTube, but this is the only YouTube video this game is gonna get from me. So I gotta just all into it. Developer information, all pro tips that I know, all the useful stuff, all my opinions, subjective and objective opinions, the items, I mean, not items, but the aspects of the game. So again, I hope you're satisfied with the knowledge. Now you're prepared for the game. If you spoil yourself all these things, consider maybe the game later on sale if you want to pick it up later. Yeah, once you forget all the things I just said. The game is not bad by any definition. Sure, it uses AI-generated CG, like this image, for example, is AI-generated, but like, and these icons. But outside of that, high-quality character art and other things, promotional art. Unfortunately, no original music, audio library. Assets are purchased, low polygon assets. Hired awesome story writer. And yeah, for me personally, the game, just like I was saying on stream, the main two things, gameplay and story. That was driving factor for me, because obviously I was not super impressed with visuals. I was not impressed with the AI usage, AI-generated usage, and of course, you always expect some weird things from one-person project and this kind of thing. But again, I played a lot of awful and bad tactics games that are just super, they just drop it, quickly deinstall it and all that stuff, disappointment. This is not one of them, absolutely. And you know, I mean, I spent entire week of streaming this game, and so yeah, that was adventure. And the story was, you know, even story is not, it's not gonna be like some cult classic memorizable thing, you know, or anything of that kind, but it was fun like a read along, yeah. And also it was fun for me because I was voice acting on the stream, everything, so that was a little extra fun for me too. But yeah, enjoy the game. I'll write my Steam review also, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. I have a lot of cool incoming projects, and by the way, I plan to probably stream also and cover more tactics games in general, so you probably see some more reviews. Not sure super in-depth or quick ones, but nonetheless, tell me how you like this super in-depth description of all the classification. Oh, did you like also? I want to know. Have you enjoyed? One moment. Where's my OBS? Like this picture that I pulled with the colors showing. This is the first time I'm doing a review like that. I usually like score less categories and score like based on numbers or something, but now I just wrote like this. And also, yeah, it's depending on the genre of the game. For example, there's a lot of points that are exclusive to this genre, like, you know, some of the points here will be not applicable to the other game genres. So depending on what I'm reviewing, yeah, they're gonna be like more or less bullet points for this. But yeah, I think it's a cool system. Like, I don't see many YouTubers do that, and you know, gotta relay information. So yeah, visually it's satisfying to see, you know, yellow, red, green, and all that. Excuse me. All right. Again, congratulations to the developer for finding success for this game. I don't know how honestly that happened, but because, to be fair, I am the only streamer of this game on Twitch. Nobody else was streaming it or caring for it. But I think it's just the niche community of tactics lovers and enjoyers. They found your game, they actually tried it and enjoyed. There was demo, right? I think you promoted your game through Demo Festival, and yeah, it shows. And also, of course, let's not forget turn-based Thursday. And I'm actually kind of low-key surprised. And one moment, I'll show the quote-unquote credits here. Thank you. You can even see thank you here. TBT community. That's turn-based Thursdays. So again, I'm gonna make a wild guess that a lot of people, including myself, by the way, that came to your game from there. You know, you marketed to this people who are following the cult, and again, good character art was also selling point, obviously, from visual perspective. And yeah, apparently Reddit, you promoted the game on Reddit, maybe aggressively, in some other places, and yep. Congratulations. As a person, again, who loves tactic strategy games, and a person who is hard to please, I am not just satisfied, but, you know, I enjoyed a lot of things of this game, and hopefully you guys will too. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.